Yo, Nicole. That was my dancing name, Nicole. And it had a last name, Adams. Nicole Adams. Very classy. That's the kind of stripper I was. I had a first and a last name. Go dancing. I've done my share. Take the girl out of the bar, then can't take her anywhere. She's wandering New Jersey in a G-string, spray on tan, really big hair. My older sister was a ballerina, which is the graceful word for anorexic. She would complain, oh, I gained 3 pounds, I'm so fat, I'm sick over it, I'm 102. Then she hung up the phone and flew open the doors to her walk-in closet, showcasing her Chaka Khan collection for me to model head to toe. And I couldn't chuck oysters as fast as that restaurant boss expected with that dangerous little seafood knife they gave me, or all 30-pound burlap sacks of iced clams at the rickety cellar stairs. I cried when they fired me. One bar off Cotman Avenue was sandwiched between a cheesesteak joint and the Salvation Army. Location, location, location. Imagine the clientele. Estelle looked me over and handed me a W-2 form, which I didn't understand because this is strictly a cash business. It's amazing I even made it over there because I have a terrible sense of direction. But there it was. On the edge of a busy highway, I spotted the sign looming over power lines. A giant pair of neon hot pants, flashing, bottoms up. I walked into the dark club, pin-eyed from the sun. I would have fallen flat on my face, but the hot dog rotisserie lit up the way. And slipped into my cheetah print. Oh God, it's my turn. The door led out to a small platform, and from there, a runway bar. Yes, I was to walk in a bar and dance in spiked heels, but I'm afraid of heights, so it was like taking baby steps on black ice. I danced an entire song holding onto an acoustic ceiling tile while straddling a shot of Jack and a sweating beer at 4:20 on a Tuesday afternoon. All for $1 a dance. Thank you. That's right. Unless the patron was feeling generous. And although I could barely walk for the next 3 days, on account of all that squatting down to pick up dollar bills from a Hell's Angel named Red Dog, I felt a sense of accomplishment. I went directly to the grocery store, stocked up, and by the end of the week, paid my rent. Oh, the owner of Pinup's Go-Go Bar caught me doodling on cocktail napkins between sets and yelled, "Hey Joey, come here, look at this. The kid's an artist." They paid me $300 to paint the sign outside. A Vargas girl lounging in a martini glass. Vinny just smiled. Probably because he already had 2 girls living above the bar, one getting her teeth fixed, and the other her boobs done on his dime. One way or another, they'd end up paying him back. And I didn't want that to be me. So I applied to graduate schools, RISD, FIT, Parsons. But the only brochure that came in the mail was from the School of Visual Arts for computer graphics. And I thought, well, you know, I've done every other kind of art. Why not computer art? It'll be a small, niche market. I was accepted. And it's true what they say about some girls working their way through college dancing. So I moved to Manhattan to attend graduate school. And in order to support myself, I tried dancing in the city at the Baby Doll Lounge, across from the New York Stock Exchange. But it was so sleazy, I wouldn't leave the dressing room. I just stayed in there. Twice a week, I'd roll my go-go bag 20 blocks to graduate school, stow it under my computer desk. use it as a footrest. It was very comfortable. On the days that I interned at NYC, I'd ride the elevator up to the 31st floor of Rockefeller Center and stash my bag of costumes in the employee coat closet next to the anchorman's galoshes. If anyone ever found them, I'd just say, "Whoa, that anchorman's freaky!" So with no money, I caught a ride from a dancer I just met named Chicago. We stopped off at her apartment to let her boyfriend know she was driving me back to the city, and they asked if I wanted to hang out for a while and smoke crack cocaine in the kitchen. It smelled like poison, so I politely declined. It's not easy to rent a decent room in New York City that doesn't consume your monthly salary. Land you on a futon behind a curtained off annex in someone's kitchen with the litter box shoved in the corner. And the only way I scored my apartment in New York City was to wait out the competition. I saw a flyer, room for rent, $6.50. And instead of tearing off one skinny tab, I swiped the whole darn page off the wall and stuffed it in my knapsack. I wasn't taking any chances. I was pretty excited about the location. Murray Hill, it was the heart of Manhattan. So I called up Herb. Yeah, that was the name on the bottom of the tab, and I asked, "Can I come by tonight?" My strategy was to outlast the group, so for the next hour I pet the dog, Maggie, my new best friend. Well, needless to say, I beat out 43 potential roommates by promising to walk Maggie every day. And the first time I realized we had a call girl in our place was when I heard him shriek, "What? You don't smoke pot? You call yourself a hooker and you don't get high? What kind of hooker doesn't do drugs?" I was actually trying to shame this girl for not being a drug addict. I felt sorry for her. So I raced through the den, scooped up my toothpaste, toothbrush, dental floss. And then I thought, maybe they've already been used. So I had to throw them all away. Next morning I saw her, I said, "Nice girl." Though her was respectively an editor for A&E, and weekends he really let loose. His friend Marco, who was a doctor at a prestigious medical clinic, would come over, get wasted, order nachos covered with jalapeno peppers and mixed cranberry juice in one of those giant stolen down jugs, and they would drink it down for 3 hours, belting out Steely Dan lyrics to every song that mentioned blackjack, 19-year-old girls, and Cuervo. Basically, I rode home in a van with what turned out to be some kind of Russian sex ring. And I had no idea. When Vladimir pulled up in front of my building, all the Russian girls shot glances at each other and spoke rapidly in their native tongue, apparently appalled at my rundown apartment. Evidently, they preferred the lovely Brooklyn compound where they were being held captive. Okay, even I didn't want to get out of the van, but it was home. I had this boyfriend with whom I never got any sleep. And it wasn't because we were having such a good time at night. No, it was because he kept me up doing tasks for his budding music career. That's right. He'd say, "If you'd only stuff my CDs into jewel cases, I would really make it." He was a street musician, bust for tips. I mean, I'm not saying nothing, I'm just saying it could happen because, well, one time Yoko Ono dropped a 50 in his guitar case in Central Park. She lived across the road at the Dakota with John. He was already dead by then. But even though we were broke, we didn't spend it for a month. We just take Yoko's 50 out every once in a while and stare at it. Now, I sold 19 dozen hand-printed illustrations to the Museum of American Folk Art. That's right. But he was not impressed. No. He was not convinced. No, he'd say, let's face it, Jill, between the two of us, I'm the one who's really going to make it. So let's put all the energy into me. Translation, stuff those CDs. Don't forget to collect the $3 cover charge. It's your girlfriend. It sounded like a shaky plan, but I acquiesced and go-go danced to finance his musical foray. Yeah. Something worse than was already happening. And when he finished counting out the cash in the drawer, he offered to drive me along Route 3 in Secaucus, New Jersey, in search of quality room. There's such a thing in East Jersey. And at one point, I thought I even spotted our van driving alongside us on the highway, and I yelled, "Hey, pull over, that's our van." He said, "Crazy, go put your head back in the window." I'm not stopping, roll it up, that can't be him. Now, because I have been living in Manhattan, I didn't need to drive, so I let my license expire. Not a good idea, because the motels in New Jersey make you register for a room by sliding your valid ID underneath bulletproof glass. So we had to keep driving from one motel to the next in order to find one that would accept my expired license, and we did. We started right in. Should be called the Bates Motel. Yeah, you know you're in a city motel when the front desk clerk hands you the key before you pay, suggesting you to check out the room first because you may not want to stay. Well, visions of the psycho shower scene flash through my head. Housekeeping. When I look down on the white bathroom tiles, I notice that something's moving. Very tiny moving things like pepper. What a tizzy that sent me into. All night, I didn't sleep. I kept itching in my sheets. So I turned Groundhog Day was playing. How apropos for the occasion. A bad deja vu. So I turned on the lobby and slipped through the crack of a door at the end of the hall, and, well, just like Toto drew back the curtain to reveal the wizard, there she was, the manager. Needless to say, I got the room for free. Cash back.